Hello and welcome to the First Impressions video brought to you by MMO Play. Today we're taking a look at a free-to-play MMO coming up pretty soon called ArcheAge. This is a recent, well, an upcoming release. Recent probably by the time most people hear this, because it's going to be hitting the early access head start in Friday. This game originally released in South Korea and has been updated and is come to North America. It is available on the Glyph client and brought to you by the guys that released Rift and Defiance. Two games I actually had a lot of fun with. This is a free-to-play game, although there is an optional subscription and microtransactions. Most of the transactions involved are either boosts or have to do with the crafting system. And the crafting is heavily tied towards end-game gear, so some people are wondering how much of it is a big advantage to people that play. We'll look at the market a little bit. Right now we're looking at character customization. You can see there are quite a few options. This was filmed during the open beta, so you can expect this to be basically the release client. Not going to be too many changes between now and then. Let's go ahead and look at the game options. Starting with the classes. So, you start off with one of 6 basic classes. I'm going to go with Sorcery because I'm a fan of mages. Either that or occultism. And you can see the little dial kind of indicates your specialties. So like sorcery is pointing towards magic damage. This is not your class. There is more to your class than this. This is just like a starting class. We'll get into that system shortly. ArcheAge is going to be a third-person tab targeting MMORPG, so we're not going to have total options like FOV and stuff like that. But you can see, other than that, there are a good number of video options, lots of resolutions, including I'm playing at 1200p, also separate audio sliders, so everything you could kind of expect to see in a modern MMORPG. And when it comes to questing and experience and the progression, it is not overly innovative, at least in this style of the game. For the most part, if you've played anything similar to World of Warcraft, you've probably experienced the leveling in ArcheAge, the big difference being the PvP, which we'll be unable to look at today due to level restrictions, or, well, just being too low level in open beta, and then maybe look at it at the launch a little bit more. But it's using a quest system. The basic interface, you can see, has a minimap towards the top right, which is see-through. Also, you can get a little arrow at your feet, so you can see quest location 1 is that way. And I can go that way. It'll get me there. One thing to keep in mind is there is collision detection with other players, so if you try to run through a player, it will not work. It comes into play for PvP. Speaking of the PvP, this game is very PvP oriented. There is a 2-realm system and then an optional 3rd realm. The 3rd realm is for people who are repeat criminals. Yeah, that's right, criminals. You can cause all kinds of mischief in the world. You can kill people. You can, I believe, steal from them. If you get caught, you get put on trial, you can be convicted, you get criminal points, you serve a punishment, which is usually time in jail. Although there is a way to break out of jail, you can go find videos on that, it's always fun to see. I was not able to get locked up, so I couldn't film it. And then if you get enough criminal points, you actually become a pirate. And unlike most 2-realm games, you're not stuck with just having to PvP with the enemy realm. No, there's open world. I can, when I get to a certain point, flag myself and start attacking other players in my realm. That's what will give me criminal points. I obviously won't get it for attacking the other guys. Those other guys are evil. We can kill them. That's no problem. On top of that, there is a robust crafting system, which we'll look at possibly in the future. It is a big part of the end game. You create items called trade packs, and these trade packs you can ship to other zones, which will give you rewards. It's basically one of your main sources of currency. The thing is, you're going to have to take a ship to get some of these big ones across the sea, get the big rewards, but enemy players will be patrolling those areas, killing your ships. So it encourages this whole natural PvP system that just kind of happens without necessarily forcing it to happen. I've talked enough about the ideas of the game. Let's look at some of the more mechanics available. Now, for the rest of that class system, you start off with your 1 class, and then eventually you'll unlock the ability to pick 2 more. This 3-class combination is what will actually be your class. It's 3 different skills combined to create your class. And then you have your skill points, which you can use to upgrade abilities, and then have all kinds of synergies. In this case, I have a sorcerer, and then I have another one that has pet type abilities, so he can tank for me. And then there's a third one that has things like Purge for PvP, so I can break out of crowd control. This whole system does lead towards a lot of potential combinations, similar to the way Rift had the different setups too. I'm not sure how differently it makes the whole game feel. I don't think it's 10 times 9 times 8 combinations being possible, but it feels like there's a lot of variance in this game. On top of that, we also have the status effects in this game. You can have different attacks that stack different status effects, which will give you extra bonuses. For example, maybe I have one that'll give someone a bleed, and then another ability that'll do extra damage to a bleeding target. Overall, it leads to a pretty good amount of depth in this game. Also, you can see the traveling. I did get a Founder's Pack, so I do have a nice glider. You can either use glider or pet to move around. Glider will let you glide from high places down below, but also your glider abilities will let you... I can get on it, move fast, and then I can jump up once. You have abilities while you're mounted. Last thing I want to look at is the in-game store, because this has caused a bit of controversy with the release of this game. And this is the marketplace. Over here you can buy boosts, including crafting materials. You can buy labor points, which are what are used to craft. You cannot just craft endlessly. When you craft or gather or open items or unlock items, all that stuff, it takes labor points. It pools slowly, and you can eventually get more and keep going. You can also be a subscriber, which will greatly increase the maximum number of labor points you have, and also the regeneration rate of them. Since endgame gear tends to be crafted, there is a lot of people that are wondering if this gear is a little bit weighted towards the players paying money. But if you're not too worried about the crafting, overall the experience is pretty fun. I've enjoyed the game. I enjoy the depth of the game. It's the leveling experience, at least through the first 20 or 30 levels, feels very much like everything else I've played before. But overall, just the abilities, and I'm not even getting into the housing or the farming or anything like that today. There's a whole system for that. There's a lot this game offers. Check it out. It's available for free. It'll be hitting the head start on Friday, and then not long after that, it'll be on the official launch. If you like it, it's called ArcheAge. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.